Operation Status Quo. Operation Status Quo. Prepare to engage. Operation Status Quo. Ready to engage. Operation Status Quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Look, actually, let me do this right now. I just forgot that I wanted to do this before I started. And I keep saying, like, why am I putting myself, like, in this position to always have to reach over here to push these buttons when there's plenty. Is there enough cable? That's probably why I didn't do it. And you know what? I got stuff laying around over here. I'll do it next time. Let me get myself around. I'll do it next time. I got this little box for my buttons. That's what she said. Anyway, and I figured I could make it easier for myself. I know I have plenty of slack, as it were, to put the box like in front of me so I could just go like this instead of always going like this, right? Might make it easier for me, easier for you. I don't know. We all work together here on Operation Status Quo. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Operation Status Quo. This is Operation Status Quo. I am Pete Palma, your user-friendly host. Happy to be with you here once again, as always. Of course, we observe the status quo here of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life, and then we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. So anyway, that's what we do here. And of course, if you're new, welcome. Thank you. This is a place of love, togetherness, joy, happiness, and all that kind of stuff. We're a little sarcastic sometimes. We get a little crazy. We're a little, eccentric, as it were, at times. Well, not we, I guess me. But it's all in good fun, and it's all really in an effort to encourage people not to take things so seriously and not be so worked up and worried about everything. Like I say, we observe what's going on here in the world, and we just kind of talk about it and look at it in a different way. And we send my goal is to send you off back out into the world with a smile on your face, feeling love and joy in your heart, and strength from the inside, knowing that you can accomplish anything you want to accomplish because it's all up to you, and you, up to you. Bum, ba, da, 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 dum, bum, ba, da, 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 dum. Yeah. It's a Friday. I don't know if you knew that. By the way, it is the 26th. What is it? The 26th of May in the good year 2023. Heyo. Yes, and of course, we like to, on Fridays, a lot of times we like to have a little fun because, first of all, it's a Friday going into a 3-day weekend, which is wonderful as well. So we're going to have a little fun here today and do This Day in History, right? We'll see what events were transpiring on this day, the 26th of May, through the years. Of course, we know here on Operation Status Quo that we don't give too much leniency, as it were, or credence or whatever to mainstream information, but we will take a gander and see what's going on this day in history. And before I get to that, I do want to make one announcement. I just want to say thank you very much to the people out there. I woke up this morning and checked the YouTube channel, and we have hit 500 subscribers. Can you believe it? Really, this week was great. They just kept jumping up a little bit. We hit 500. So all I need now is like 502, 503 in case somebody jumps off so we can stay at 500. My next goal is 505, 55. You know what I mean? All right. But seriously, for those of you who have subscribed, those of you who watch regularly or share it out or like the videos and all that kind of stuff, thanks. Because, that's what it takes to make it grow. That's why, yesterday when I had my brother on and we were talking about advertising and how it affects food choices, and the day before I was kind of talking about America as a commercial and all the ads and and I've always a big believer. And if a product is worth anything, I don't necessarily consider my show a product, but if a product is worth anything, word of mouth and everything else will help it out. So we've got there's 500 poor people out there, poor suffering people out there that have subscribed to this show. Why? What is wrong? I wonder how many of them are even real people, how many of them are bots. It's okay though. We'll take it. We will take it. Whatever we can get to make the channel grow. But seriously. Heyo. Yeah. All right. So let's get into this day in history. And, if you find yourself in a space where you're enjoying what you're seeing, then I would encourage you to subscribe as well, because it's wonderful. Now you could be on the list. And whoever it was that made number 500, if you want to identify yourself, I don't know, because sometimes when people subscribe, I guess it depends on their level of what or whatever, but you'll see who it is, and other times you don't see who it is. So I did not know. I know who 499 is, but I don't know who 500 is. So thank you, number 500. If I could, if you want to reach out to me, I'll be happy to send you an official. I don't know. I have to come up with something. Maybe we'll start making T-shirts or notepads. The official yellow sticky notepad of Operation Status Quo. All right. And if you're out there, by the way, with me while I'm here live, don't hesitate to pop in on the chat and let me know what you're thinking out there. Ask me some questions, for God's sake. That's the next thing we have to do, people. I appreciate that people are subscribing and watching and sharing, but we need to start getting this darn chat going when I'm on here live. It would make things a lot easier for me instead of having to keep thinking of things to say. All right, seriously, let's get into this here. Today is the 26th of May in the good year 2023, and now we will embark on this day in history. Yes, and we will be discussing days like today, but not today, because today is its own day, and the days that we will be talking about have already passed us by. All right, so on this day, May 26, in 1868, I found this funny right off the bat. Presidential impeachment. How about that? U.S. President Andrew Johnson avoids impeachment by one vote. The Senate voted 35-19 in favor of impeachment, one vote short of the necessary 2/3 majority. Honestly, I guess I'm pretty bad as a history buff. I don't even know why. Does anybody know? Can you tell me why? I'm not going to look into it because I could care less. But what did he do? Who did he piss off that they wanted to get rid of? Wait till they talk about impeachments in the future. I mean, this guy, first of all, this shouldn't even be like a fact, right? Because not for anything, this guy avoided getting impeached. And how many times with Trump, he was impeached every 20 minutes. They were impeaching the shit out of the guy. Oh my God. That's pretty funny though. I guess they always want to impeach somebody, right? I guess he must have been doing something nice for people. That's probably why they wanted to impeach him. I know somebody they can impeach right now, really. And he's sleeping, so you could pick him up right at the White House while he's napping. All right, on this day, May 26, 1647, that's going back a few years, death to Jesuit priests in Massachusetts. So, oh my gosh, this is just so crazy. And this is back in 1647, right? Roman Catholic Jesuit priests are forbidden by law from entering Massachusetts territory under Puritan jurisdiction. This was punishable by banishment and by death for a second offense. However, no priests were ever executed by this law. The English Puritans believed the Pope was the Antichrist and his followers were in league with the devil. Well, now they're making sense. They were also concerned that Jesuit missionaries had converted large number of Indians in Canada to Catholicism, making the Indian converts potential allies of France and enemies of the English. Ironically, the Catholic population would grow in Massachusetts due largely to Irish immigration. Starting in the 1800s, John F. Kennedy, we remember him, right? JFK, a Massachusetts citizen and descendant of these immigrants, would become the first Roman Catholic president of the U.S. And maybe that's one of the reasons they assassinated him, right? Because maybe he was Catholic. Nobody liked him that he was Catholic. I remember that. So the English Puritans believed the Pope was the Antichrist and his followers were in league with the devil. And this is exactly all the stuff that's going on in the world today that we're talking about the Satan worshiping cabal and all the stuff that goes on with the kids and the pedophilia and everything else. And the Pope, is right in line with all that. I was talking about this earlier in the week about the Vatican and all the lies and everything that's under there. So these guys knew what they were doing way back in 1647. But I do find it ironic because everybody came to America for freedom. And what was the main reason they came for be free of religious persecution, and then they started persecuting other people for religion. But I can understand why, because they didn't really want devil worshippers around. I guess that's why they came to America to begin with. But anyway, so the first war between the settlers and the Indians was on this day, May 26, 1637. When was that last one? 1647. So this was 10 years prior. Was the first war between the Indians and the settlers there. So I just wanted to get things started. So, it's going to be a lot of crap going on. We're going to slaughter a lot of your people. This is the first war, the first little battle. We're going to get things warmed up here, kill some of you, show you that we got guns and you got arrows, and it's going to be a long haul. Okay? All right. Tom Cruise on this day. Tom Cruise, May 26, 2005. Tom Cruise criticizes Brooke Shields. I can't believe it. Every time I think of Tom Cruise, like the first thing I think of is him jumping up and down on Oprah's couch and wondering what kind of drugs he was on, because he really, whatever he was on that day, he should share with the rest of the world. But anyway, apparently he was very upset. Speaking of drugs, he was very upset with Brooke Shields because he criticized poor Brooke for the use of Paxil to treat her postpartum depression. Of course, later he would personally apologize to her. So let's give her Tom. Thank God you said something. Somebody got offended, and you apologize. That's the American way. You speak your mind because you think you're free. And then somebody gets upset and you go, oh, I'm sorry. Please don't be mad. Please be my friend. Hey-o. Please don't put me in jail and take away all my possessions. Please don't give me a bad credit score. Oh, it's so funny. All right, that's what's coming with the I don't think it's going to get there with the central bank digital currency thing. But if it did go to that, in our case, that's exactly what it would be used for, right? They'd be able to, you would have no physical assets to use anything. Everything would be through computer. So basically, if you F up or whatever, they can shut your money down and say, oh, you're a bad little citizen, so you don't get to put gas in your car. Or you wouldn't have gas in your car by then, right? Because they would take away all your gas cards. You would just have electric. So you can't use electric. You can't go grocery shopping. You can't leave your house. All right, anyway, May 26, 1997, the Saudi government becomes the first country to formally recognize the Taliban government of Afghanistan. So let's see, Pakistan and the United Arab Emirates will follow suit, making them the only countries to officially recognize the Taliban as of September 11th, 2001. It's funny, we didn't even recognize them. The United States didn't even recognize the Taliban. And in Afghanistan, and they say they're the ones that blew up the towers. Well, of course, we know that they didn't really do the towers. But this is today is Friday, as I said, and we're here to have fun and just enjoy some light, happy conversation, and that's what we want to do, and that's exactly what we're doing. How about our buddy Michael Jackson? I wanna be touching something. To be touching something. Back in the day when I used to do my radio show, that's what I used to do for Michael Jackson. That was my big Michael Jackson show, because back then I even believed that he was probably a pedophile, and maybe he was in a certain regard, but not the way that they portrayed it. I mean, I guess I was in a certain regard, but all I mean is that who knows? When I see like the whole industry and it's all into that stuff, God knows what was really going on, how abused he probably was as a child too. And I used to go, it's after midnight and I got little boys in my bedroom. Turn off that night light. The wine and pills will have you sleeping soon. But I honestly love Michael Jackson so much. Let me do a pull of Tom Cruise. Michael Jackson, I'm saying, I know he's up here. Michael, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding around. I don't believe that Michael Jackson was a pedophile. I think Michael Jackson was horribly abused and used, and could definitely use some support and help instead of always being treated the way he was. That poor man was. But I'm not going to go down this road because it's just a plethora of avenues I can go with, the quote unquote conspiracy stuff. But it is said to be, and possibly, and I would lean towards it, but I'm not going to get into it. But we might be seeing Michael Jackson again, is all I'm saying. All right. Anyway, genetically altered food. How about this? May 26 in 1992, the U.S. announces it will allow the sale of many genetically altered foods without government testing, and the first genetically altered wheat is announced. How about that? That was announced, like I said, by Professor Indra Vasil of University of Florida. Oh my God, Florida. Come on, you guys. Why would Florida, of all places, do something to back genetically altered like foods? It's like the land of plenty down here. You can grow all year round. It's so vibrant and full of life. We don't need genetically altered foods. But now this, what's interesting about going back through like this day in history and seeing stuff like this, you go back to 1992 and think of what the world was like then. I mean, I graduated high school in 91, so I'm just just out in the world. I wasn't paying attention. You make a joke or two, that they're doing stuff like this and, or whatever. Oh, they're making genetically modified food. But look where we are today and how much of our food is genetically modified. And you don't even know what is and what isn't anymore. Even the vegetables, they're, injecting with shit and hormones for it to grow and all that kind of stuff. So, a good rule of thumb is, I forgot, someone told me, when you look at the SKU numbers that are the stickers that are on your fruit and vegetables, I think it was a 3, an 8, or a 9. I don't quote me. I don't remember exactly, but I think that if you see a 3, an 8, or a 9, it was like locally, organically grown, like different numbers, so you should pay attention to those SKU numbers. Look that up, because the SKU numbers on the vegetables are telling you whether they're organic or not. So I don't worry about it as much, because I try to get as much organic as possible. But who knows if that's really organic? Just because they write it on the box doesn't mean that it is, right? So anyway, especially since they keep changing all the rules of what organic is, so that they can say organic and lie to people, and people can't really get the healthy stuff that they're trying to get. Isn't it funny? People want, again, we were talking about this yesterday with my brother, but you want to get healthy food, and they try to trick you on that too. Everything's just marketing, make money, and don't give people really healthy food. Like, just keep giving them shit. It's just the craziest thing. It's like, all our food is shit. It's so funny. Well, it's not funny at all, really. All right, this day, 1992, also in 1992, so we have genetically altered food on this day in 1992, and also in 1992, the first production models of the Dodge Viper rolls off the assembly line. They are capable of 165 miles per hour, and I enjoy driving fast myself, I have to say. Unfortunately, I kind of have like a SUV type car now, so I did that for my move to Florida, so I would have space to store stuff and for travel around and hauling things back and forth. But I miss my car previous to that. Did have a little speed to it. And, I got a couple tickets. When I first got that car, it was so fast. And it took me a year or two to be like, okay, you gotta stop getting tickets. All right, anyway, here we go. I do like to drive fast, so just get the frig out of my way, please, and everything will be fine. All right, it's time for today's birthdays. Happy birthday to you. I know that doesn't really sound like happy birthday. I used to be able to play happy birthday on the harmonica, and I wonder if I can remember. I really, obviously, anybody who watches the show and sees when I mess with this thing, obviously I don't know what I'm doing, but it's just fun to blow into it. Again, that's what she said. It's not. It's kind of there, but not close. Happy birthday to you. I mean, I'm really like thumbing playing with fate here. I wouldn't say thumb my nose or, playing with fate here. I'm so proud and happy to have reached 500 subscribers. And now I come on and try to play happy birthday on the harmonica during this day in history. And, please, people, please, that's all I got in my life is the 500 subscribers. Please, that's all I have. Please don't take it from me. All right, seriously. Happy birthdays. Today's birthdays. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. The first U.S. woman in space, Sally Kristen Ride, born on this day in 1951. She was an American astronaut. She went up there in 1983. She is still the youngest American astronaut to have traveled to space, having done so at the age 32. So at the age of 32. And of course we know most likely that this never happened because, there is no space with the firmament and the flat earth. But good for Sally. Ride, Sally, ride. I wonder if that's where that song came from. Mustang Sally. You gotta maybe that's why then she went to space. I wonder if they played that song for her. I know they didn't write that song for her, but let's see. Oh, James Arness, right? That's how you say it, right? Arness, or is it Arness? You know him. He was an actor. He was in Gunsmoke, and what else was he in? The Thing from Another World in 1951. I recognize him. I remember him from. I never really watched Gunsmoke because it's a little before my time, but the reruns are on, so I recognize him. Anyway, he was born on this day in 1923. He, of course, died in 2011. And by the way, it does appear our good friend Sally Ride also died in 2012. So ride, Sally, ride. I got to be honest with you. I used to go out a lot back in the radio days. We used to promote a lot of local live music for the radio station that I used to work with, whatever. And anyway, we saw a lot of blues bands. And I can't tell you, I know Mustang Sally is a popular song, but I'll tell you, it really grates on my nerves overall. Because, it was every time you went, it's like, ride, Sally, ride, and it's just like, can you guys play, something else? Like 2 songs, everything Stevie Ray Vaughan or whatever. Anyway, I like Stevie Ray Vaughan, though. I can't complain about that. But, either way, I'm not going to get into... Jay Silver Heels. He was born on this day in 1912. Hold on, I got to check something because something just popped into my head, and I want to make sure that I know. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, anyway, I wanted to make sure that I had the right person in my head of who wrote Mustang Sally, because I didn't want to be saying one thing and then that was Mac Rice or whatever his name is. I just looked at it, but I was thinking of something and I was going to say something, but I don't want to totally make an ass of myself when I don't know what I'm talking about, and I get my brain goes on this all of a sudden, and I'm into these type of tangents that don't make any sense, and I hope you're still with me. Please, subscribe, share, send this out to your family, your friends, those you love, those you despise. Let's help this community grow. Don't forget you're welcome here. I would love for you to be part of the show. I'm always happy to have guests, so anything you want to share, say, do, give, add, provide, send me a message, contact me. I'm happy to share topics you're interested in. I'm also happy to have you on to speak on your own behalf if you would like that. Okay, let's see here. Another birthday. James Silverheels. He was a Canadian-born Mohawk Indian, and he was an actor, and he was in The Lone Ranger. How about that? Yes, Kimo Sabi. It's Tonto. Oh, he played Tonto. How about that? All right, I didn't realize his name. Jay Silverheels, our good buddy Tonto, born on this day, May 26, 1912, and he died in 1980. John Wayne was born on this day in 1907. We lost him, of course, in 1979. Al Jolson, Russian-born American jazz singer, comedian, actor, called the world's greatest entertainer. How about that? He was born on this day in 1886, and he left us in 1950, and I hope he's doing well. Let's see. We got any other birthdays? Who is, we got William Barton. He was an American Revolutionary officer, famous for his capture of the British General Robert Prescott in 1777. That would have been a good trick if he did it in 1977, since the American Revolutionary War was long before that. Anyway, he was born on this day in 1748. We lost him in 1831, but was it really a loss? I don't know. Maybe he was a nice guy. Maybe he wasn't. Philip Michael Thomas of Miami Vice. He was Tubbs. Remember him? He was Tubbs. He was born on this day in 1949. Hank Williams Jr. was born on this day in 1949. Stevie Nicks of Fleetwood Mac. Good old Stevie. She was born on this day in 1948. Love Fleetwood Mac. Some great stuff by them. Peggy Lee was born on this day in 1920, and she died in 2002. We got anybody else? Who we got? Anybody else good here? We're just flipping. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, I thought it said Ben Affleck, but it was Ben Alexander. Sorry, I don't know who to. Oh, he was in Dragnet. He was Officer Frank Smith in Dragnet. How about that? Born in 1911, died in 1969. Let's see. I'm just going to go down here to see any more. Oh, now they tell you the people that died. Do you want to know people? Well, let's not do that because that's not nice. If you want to know who died on this day, you look it up yourself. We want to talk about life, although I did say all those people died. But either way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now for the grand finale of this day in history. It is time for the thought for the day. You got to have that. If you don't do that part, then the thought for today, it doesn't even count. Nature has given us 2 ears, 2 eyes, but 1 tongue, to the end that we should hear and see more than we speak. Absolutely. Somebody shut the frig up. Somebody shut me up. I just read that and it made me realize maybe I'm talking just a little too much. Talk just a little too much. Hey-o. Oh, gosh. I love you guys out there. This is so much fun to come on. It really is. I really enjoy the opportunity to come on most days. It's like I say every day, but the weekends I'm generally not on. But it's such a pleasure. It's fun for me, and I hope it's fun for you. Again, this is a space to just come and like chill. It's not about getting crazy, worked up. We don't have to get into heavy, argumentative things, scary things. Like I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, and as far as news stuff goes, whether it be the economy or the conspiracy stuff or whatever. And, it's always so like, not in a bad way. I mean, some of it is. Some of it's heavier than other stuff. But, it's all this rah-rah all the time and, pounding fists and we got to this and the shit's hitting the fan and all that. And you know what? I mean, shit's been hitting the fan for all the time. I mean, it's just part of humanity. And that's why we do Operation Status Quo. What do I say? I say we observe the status quo. We learn to flow with the status quo. Not flow with it that you got to give into it, but flow with it because that's just part of life and you're just realizing what's going on and you're making your way through mitigating circumstances. And then you take it to step 3. Once you're ready, create your own flow of quo. You observe what's going on. You see what's going on. You don't get crazy about it and you just work your way. See what I'm doing here? You just work your way around and I love you guys. It's so crazy. But seriously, I hope everybody has a really happy Memorial Day weekend out there. I'm going to come on Monday, is my plan, and give a little shout, happy Memorial Day shout out to the beautiful people out there. Thank you again, everyone who has taken the time to like and subscribe and share and all that stuff. And hopefully you can encourage others to do it or maybe trick them to do it. I'm happy to give you a couple bucks. But seriously, I really can't believe it. Hit 500. I know it's a small number, really. I mean, I see on YouTube people got like hundreds of thousands of subscribers and so, but it's not about that. It isn't. It's not about that. It's about just, continuing to believe in what you do. And anytime you see a little progress, one subscriber here or there is, it's to me, it's like it just if it moves in a positive direction, then it means what I'm doing is good, and it's not that it's good, but it has good intent. I'll at least say it like that. And I don't know. I just want all of us to get along and be happy and and try to work together and build a better tomorrow because you see what's going on. I say this all the time. It's all falling apart. But we don't get crazy. We're just going to have to go through it. This is the birthing process into the into the new paradigm of a higher level of consciousness and a more abundant way of living. And as the birthing process can be a little messy. That's why they have to wipe the baby down when it comes out. It's a little gushy, a little messy, a little screamy, and unfortunately, that's kind of the stage that we're in now. But once that little bambino comes out and is hosed down, by golly, we're going to be in a beautiful space. All right. That's it. Hey-o. Thank you. All right. Once again, thank you guys, and have a great holiday weekend. I love each and every one of you individually as well as a group. And again, God bless. Don't forget how much your participation means to me. So don't be shy to reach out and participate. You're welcome. You're welcome here. If you want to be here, if you want to do it to yourself and you want to be here, you're welcome. Yeah, that's like what my grandpa would say to me when I did something that he didn't want me to do, and then I, got in trouble. We go, that's what you get, that's good for you. Anyway, guys, seriously, have a great one. Be safe out there. Not too safe. Have some fun, but be safe overall. And I will be back with you. And hopefully, I'll have my box. See, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move the box over here so I can just go do. All right, I'm gonna do it. Check me on it next time. Have a great one. Until Monday, Operation Status Quo disengaged.